Hi, my name is Esme Tardsif, and I'll be presenting my project on the use of animals in the entertainment and advertising industries between 1990 and 2010. So I started out my project with why animals? So animals are everywhere around us and have been for thousands of years, and they're seen pretty much anywhere in the advertisement and um, entertainment industries. So the first thing I found was that sociologists have found animals to be very, very present in their minds, and so they're even considered to be family members. From 9 out of 10 people, studies have shown that they're considered family members, and so um, that gives a reason for advertisement, advertising industries, and marketing companies to bring animals into their products because they are a magnet. They drag people to the products. Another thing I found was something called the Bambi syndrome. The Bambi syndrome is means that when people watch Disney movies that have a lot of animals, that they tend to be less Americanized, is what they use as a term, meaning the people that have watched those animal movies tend to be less interested in violent things such as war, such as hunting, and so they're more soft. They're more soft like Bambi, or more soft like Dumbo or cute animals. Another thing I found was that sociologists see a trend um, in advertisements. So they see the animals either being used as symbols or as loved ones in the family, or just the animals themselves in nature, or as allegories, tools, or nuisances. So those were the patterns that were found. Also, the animals could be considered the main idea of the message or background. So they could be the first thing that you see and that you see throughout the whole advertisement, or they could be something more subliminal, less obvious. And so when it comes to advertising, the animal could have either a direct connection to the product, like for example, a an animal cleansing product that has a dog on it is a direct message. It makes sense. Your dog pees on the floor, you clean it up. So that has a direct message. Others have somewhat direct messages. For example, this laundry detergent that has penguins. Well, there's not a real link between penguins and laundry detergent. However, the brand is cruelty free, therefore it doesn't test on animals, is more careful with the environment, and therefore nicer to animals. So there's somewhat of a link. And the other kind would be just indirect between the animal in the advertisement or product and the actual product. There's not a link. So, for example, playing cards with bears. So I personally bought these cards because there was cute bear on it, um, but it has nothing to do with the playing cards. And so I, for example, was affected in that decision to buy something due to the fact that they used the animal image. I was magneted, I was hooked to the product. So it's very psychological. Um, Also, cats and dogs represent 75% of the animals used um, in in the animal image in advertising. So that was very interesting, because they are more the family animals than you would see reptiles or snakes. So that makes because humans see them as parts of the family, they're willing to spend more money on things that they link with cats and dogs. The next part I researched was animals in movies. And so, for example, 101 Dalmatians. So, what happened was that after the movie came out, 101 Dalmatians, there was a surge of sales, anything with a Dalmatian on it. So, the Dalmatian image was used to sell anything from beer to medicine to shoes, um, to just all kinds of things that had nothing to do with dogs, but because people had seen the movie, were attached, they wanted to buy it. Another thing that was really interesting was I found out what a dog makeup artist is. So it's actually when dogs are used in advertisement or movies, and you think that you're seeing only one dog, you're actually seeing many, many dogs a lot of the time that were just made up by a dog makeup artist to look like the one. So the idea is that first of all, filming days can take from 14 to 16 hours long, and so it's too long for a dog. It's too tiring. So that's the first reason, is that they need to conserve energy, so they have many dogs. The other reason is because dogs have different personalities, so they might want a calmer dog doing a calmer scene, maybe lying down on the floor or being calm or doing the sit, versus the more playful dog is the one you're going to see running in a field or playing with the humans. And so by having many dogs and making them all look alike, you can have all those scenes done more efficiently. The second part of my paper was the profits and risks of using animals. So when it comes to the profits, there was revenue profits. When it came to The Lion King, the original movie, as well as Ice Age 3, those are the two movies that I found between those 20 years that generated a lot of money. So The Lion King generated over $312 million in revenue in the United States alone, and Ice Age 3 over 190 million worldwide. And so those are movies that have animals as the forefront characters. And what they say is that the reason why they were so popular is because they were using those animals. It probably wouldn't have been the same revenue if it were humans doing the same story. Next, the magic show industry. Magic show industry uses a lot of animals as well. I read about Rick Thomas, who uses 5 tigers in all of his magic shows, and I've read testimonies of people saying that they go to his shows primarily to see those tigers. So above the magic, there's the tigers. And also the Christmas show industry. So there's a New York show called the Christmas Spectacular that happens annually. And it features 12 animals, 12 really large animals, including sheep. And so that too is a show that has, yes, a few humans, but mostly animals, and that becomes the main entertainment for the audience members, is to come see the animals that they would normally not see. When it comes to the debate part of my paper, a few things came up. For example, after the 101 Dalmatian movie, yes, there was a surge of sales having to do with marketing, but there was also a surge in sales of the actual dog being sold. And so people saw that opportunity. Dog breeders started overbreeding Dalmatians, which is not good for their health. And evidently, dogs who were not bought would end up in bad situations, poor life conditions. So overbreeding was a problem in one instance. Another instance could be when sometimes when humans see animals as objects or subjects from movies or objects that they're purchasing, they don't see that animal as a sentient being anymore necessarily. So there has been risk of more abuse when it comes to animals, when people are seeing more and more of animals in their surroundings, in movies or whatsoever. Also, it could be dangerous. So for magicians, for example, there's a quote that I read that said that there are more magicians that have died on stage than any other kind of entertainment. And so that was pretty shocking. But I mean, it's also logical. You're dealing with huge animals that are not meant to be tamed. They're meant to be wild in nature, and here they are being trained daily, kept captive, and so it's fair to say that it's normal that they're going to act out at some point, and it becomes dangerous. And so that pretty much sums it up. I had a lot of fun writing this paper. I learned a ton. And in conclusion, the animal image is extremely powerful. I don't think it's going to go away any day soon. There's pros, there's cons. And that's it. Thank you.